It says firmware version is 1.2. So in reality, I didn't need to download the firmware. Just like on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. So today I'm going to be unboxing my new Canon G7X Mark III, which is the latest vlogging camera from Canon as far as point and shoot is concerned. For the longest, I've been using my G7X Mark II, which is a great camera. 90% of my vlogs has been done with the G7X Mark II. I've thought that I could really use an update, so I opted for the G7X Mark III. However, the G7X Mark III is not a brand new camera per se because it was released in 2019. So I'm kind of 2 years late, but because the G7X Mark II was such a good camera, I was not on any rush to get the Mark III. And then again, I was contemplating whether or not I should switch from Canon and go to Sony, but because most of my products are Canon, I decided to stick with Canon because it's not let me down so far. Speaking about letdown, I was told, and I saw lots of reviews, that this Canon, the Mark III, is a great camera with the exception of its autofocus. It's terrible, it's rubbish, it's the worst on the camera market, and it's definitely the worst that Canon has released. So even though the autofocus is the worst, and I've heard all the bad reviews, you might be wondering, why did I go ahead and still buy the Canon Mark III? Well, I went ahead and bought the Canon Mark III because I saw that Canon had a remedy to fix the autofocus. I trust Canon, and I saw some reviews where the download actually made a massive improvement, and plus they had the 24 shooting capability, because before it's only 30, 60, and I believe 120. Don't quote me in that part. Yeah, so I'm gonna unbox it and I'm gonna let you guys know everything that I know about it. Here in Switzerland, I purchased this at Interdiscount. It retails at 649 Swiss francs, which equivalent to about 650 US dollars. But they had a flash sale and I managed to get it at 584. So let's unbox this bad boy and let's see if it was money well spent. Let's get it. Okay, so let's rip it open. Obviously, I expected to be a box within a box, and so it was. So there she is, the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III. This camera comes in two different colors. It comes in solid black, and it also comes in silver and black. I went for the solid black. So let me unbox it. Paperwork as usual, Canon, getting started, multi-language, manual as usual. This is your power lead. I'll just open it so you guys can see. This is your charging station that the power lead goes into. And this is your battery, kind of similar to the battery of the G7X. As a matter of fact, it's exactly the same battery. This is your hand strap to carry it. And this is the big reveal. This is the camera itself. There she is, the Canon G7X Mark III. Similar to the Canon G7X Mark II, but with more features. It feels different. It's got a nice little grip section here. The material here feels different. The beauty of this one is it comes with a microphone jack, so you can enhance your audio. The G7X Mark II has no microphone jack, This is your flash point. You can pop your flash up, put your flash back down. And this camera, you can do YouTube live. And the beauty about this camera is that it affords you to get that blur background more than the G7X Mark II afforded you. And the lens, I've watched reviews that the lens can go up to 100 millimeters to shoot. It's very slow when it's zooming, but it does get to the point. The biggest problem with this camera, like I said, has been the autofocus, but all I have to do from what I've reviewed is go online, download the firmware, stick it on the SD card, and it should work. Let's hope this battery has a little power in it. Another beauty about this, so here is where you can put your SD card. Yep. Then put your battery in. So I can turn it on and I can upgrade the date and time. Today is the 27th. So 27, okay. Move it over, okay. Month of April, okay. 2020, oops. Okay. 2021. And the time now is midday. So, okay that. And it's midday 12. Okay. Okay. So go to menu, and I was told to go to that wrench looking tool, and number 5. Software Earl, Canon .com /ICPD. So need to go to this website, and once you go to this website, accept the cookies, choose what country you're in, go for a PowerShot camera, and I need to download the software. So I accept cookies again, and I'm going for the PowerShot G7X, G series, G7X Mark III. This is the one. Click on that, and firmware. So we got 2 firmware here. We got one for Windows, so this is the one that I need. So I'm going to download it. I ask you to agree to 1 million word license agreement, and it's downloaded. Put it on P, press play, comes on, go to menu, go to number 5, go to firmware, which is right there. It says firmware version is 1.2. So in reality, I didn't need to download the firmware. I was just guessing that all the cameras that were out had the old firmware that they were originally made with. But like I say, considering that I bought this camera 2 years later, I would just now guess that this particular camera in my hand was made from a brand new batch after the 2019 distribution. So I don't have to do anything to the camera. This camera can also be charged with a USB right there. You could plug it in, and you could charge it with a power bank. You could charge it with a plug. You could charge it to the computer. So if you're running out of battery power, like, you know, the Mark II, you would have to stop and change the battery. But this camera has the advantage of being charged while you're actually vlogging. So I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to test the capability of the autofocus because that was my main concern. So let's get it. Okay, so I'm about to test. If you hear any extra breathing behind, that's my wife. She's my camera person today as she assists me. So I'm going to flip the camera around and do my test. But before I go, I've got a selfie stick. So I'm going to put a selfie stick in. Yeah, so as you can see, the battery is flashing. So I'm going to charge this battery and use my G7X Mark II battery at the same time to see how this works. So this is my Mark II. I'm going to try this battery. Well, I'm sure it's the same battery. Yep. Now I'm going to get up and I'm going to shoot with this actual camera. So I'm going to do two things because I'm using the onboard mic. I've got a shotgun mic. It's not anything fancy. So I'm going to set that up as well. And I'm going to do a vocal test with the onboard camera, which I have no complaints before with the Mark II and its onboard camera. So I want to see what this vocal sounds like without my mic plugged in. It's a shotgun mic. If I see any significant difference, I plan to buy the Rode mic. It's a smaller mic. By buying the Rode mic, we'll also need an extension bracket for the camera. I've got one of those saved in a shopping basket already. So yeah, let's give it a test. I'm wearing glasses. Let me take my glasses off. How it works. This is a test in manual mode. Zoom in, zoom out, auto mode. But now it's on face tracker. Come back into the shot. Seeing with my hat and my glasses, it struggles a little. Take my glasses off. Fix it up. But what I want to do now is try the microphone. Shotgun microphone. Yeah. This is the aimer microphone test. It's on low at the moment. I will put it on high to see if there's a difference with the built-in microphone on the Canon G7X Mark III versus when I attach a external microphone to it. Using the zoom at the moment. Works pretty good. Pretty slow, but it's good. Okay people, so I'm closing off with the microphone attached and give you my verdict. The built-in microphone is good, it's great really, but when you add the aimer microphone to it, it does give you a little bit more of a clarity to how my actual voice sounds. So even though the aimer mic or hammer mic is actually a cheap mic, I would only imagine that when I get the Rode mic, which is more of a top shelf mic, that my audio will sound more professional, and that is what I'm aiming to get. So this is pretty much my overall review on the Canon G7X Mark III. Like I said earlier, I did not have to necessarily download the latest firmware because now it's 2021 and the problem occurred in 2019 and 2020. So it seemed as if all the cameras that was first distributed sold out like hot bread, and my particular camera is a fresh batch that was made after the problem was announced. So Canon did go ahead and install the 1.2 on this particular camera. So I'm happy about that because personally, I don't like to interfere with the technical side of camera, even though I trust the manufacturer, but the whole downloading and installing does put me on edge. But, you know, on YouTube you can find more reviews that will give you more in-depth to the technical side and how to use this camera if it's your first G7X Mark III, considering that I had the Mark II before. I'm familiar with the camera and I'm looking forward to have a play with this, you know. My wife and I have a channel, Ian and Tina, and I want to give this camera a second test on that channel because of all the videos that I've watched, I've not seen any videos about autofocus where more than one faces were concerned. So I want to see how it's going to act when my wife and myself show up on screen at the same time to see if it works just as smooth and if it works just as fast. But thus far, I am happy with it. At the moment, I'm using it in auto mode. I believe that I will switch from auto to manual every now and then because in manual, I've changed some settings and I've applied a soft focus, for example. And in auto mode, it allows you to do on-screen color grading, which is different. I'm using a color grade at the moment, but not too much. I think I just moved, I think I'm using color grade 1 or 2, and it was in the center where 0 was, and I'm using number 2 at the moment, going towards the green side. So let me know what you guys think of this video. As you know, on my channel, I always share with you guys which equipment I'm using to bring the vlogs to you. So again, this is the Canon G7X Mark III, and I'm using an external mic, a Hammer, which I paid maybe 30 to 40 francs for. But I have in mind to buy a Rode microphone, and by buying a microphone you're going to need an extension bracket, which I also have one in a shopping basket waiting to be ordered if my wife go ahead and press buy. Coming from her shopping account. But that's it, people. Let me know what you think of this video. Until next time, peace.